Coach, on the eastern edge of the D.C. metro area in Landover, Maryland. That's where we are situated at FedEx Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Redskins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Come on, set! 10-2 start! Kill, kill, kill! Topper, topper! Go, go! 57 to Mike, 57 to Mike. We own them! We own them!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey! Mike's 54! Hey, seam 6! Seam 6! You must be dreaming. Hey, 1-7. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Check. Set. That's it. You got motion there. You got motion there right there. Mike's 59.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Deron Payne able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Looking to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On third down, Dickerson. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going. Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. Geis with a carry on 2nd down. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either. Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off. And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps? All caps. Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, 1st down. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun handoff now to Geis. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. Back to throw here. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. On 1st down, this is Geis. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
8 yards to go.
The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack. And not a blitz there, but still able to get there from a strong safety position.
Yeah, I think that was a great example of what they call football IQ. Recognizing he was open, had a chance, and went ahead and got to the quarterback.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would... And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. D Ford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
8 yards here, so that gets him back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D Ford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Check 3. X3. 218, chopper. Bravo.
They'll try and start this drive in the air toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and now it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Right there. 54. Right there.
They'll set up to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. On 1st down, Dickerson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible, because right now he is wrecking things for them.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
The point after is good, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question, because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They're going to look to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation, because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
54. Hey, Zoo. I'm going back to you. Go. 54. Mike, 54. We ain't giving up nothing today. Hey, watch that. Watch that.
They'll look to throw, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Check 52.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. 23 yards on the play. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll drop the throw. Looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
56, right there, 56. I'm coming.
2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime?
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Now a give right side. Dickerson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deron Payne in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Trevor Williams with a pick, and he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it past the 20. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 14. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check 99. Spoons. No, watch the twist. Watch the twist. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Now back to throw. Steps away to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
It's caught here by Adams. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag?
You
just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. And they'll try the jet sweep here. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
First down, Falcons.
Cut. 20. Right. 20. Let's go. Watch time. Watch time. Tight end rush. 61. Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. On second down, Dickerson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. You can't block me.
He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Landon Collins. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. The Redskins on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll look to throw here. He finds his man Johnson. It'll be a gain of 17, but even with that, they'll be well short here for 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike's 57. 57's Mike. Down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to float this one, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. So it was 4th down. They go deep to try to pick up the first. They pick up more than that. They pick up a score.
I'm not even sure the analytics guys would think that was a good gamble. 4th down there going for it, but they pressed the issue. And not only did they complete the pass downfield, how about the run after catch that ends up culminating in a touchdown? That's a huge play.
First and 10 at their own
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Watch the slants. Watch the slants. Go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Complete. It's Johnson. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a toss. This is Geis. A strong running. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 45-yard line. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. This is Geis. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
We got 4. We got 4. Slam, let's go.
On the ground, Geis. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking deep for Adams. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 49 yards. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit